All right. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. What the hell are we talking about? So you think you can spot an agent in a crowd even if they are in street clothes? Some of them, yes, but like I was saying, I would be surprised if they didn't have like civilians who had never been in the service that moved the way a typical civilian does. I'm talking, if you look in the crowds, you can see a lot of people in plain clothes that are like scanning sections. They're doing the way that the military and the Secret Service trains you to assess for threats and stuff like that. You can spot a lot of people doing that kind of stuff. And so just the way that they stand, the way that they move their head, you know, sometimes you can spot what looks to be something in their ear, but these days that doesn't mean a damn thing. They've got, you can go to freaking Walmart and get a Bluetooth little headset thing for $10 or whatever. And so that doesn't mean anything. But there have been a lot of times where I'm watching like a speech or something, and I spot a few people in the crowd that don't look like they're there just for the speech. But as like I was saying, I'm positive that there's more that I don't notice and that other people don't notice either. That are maybe a little bit more relaxed, shall I say? I don't really know how to describe that. So one thing I do wish, can I see, is there a thing here? Live tools, show. Okay, maybe this. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. Now I can see if there's people in here or not, and how many people we have. What the hell is brush? I'm kind of... Can I draw a mustache on this guy? Is that what that means? Nope, guess not. So, John, is that you that's still in here? Yes, but you got to keep in mind, I'm paranoid, man. So there's been quite a few times where I'm watching like a campaign speech or something. I love this picture too. I think it's great. I try not to take myself too seriously. Oh, what's going on, Mustafa? But anyway, yeah. So there's been quite a few times where I see somebody that doesn't really look like they're there for the campaign. So I don't know if they're there like with bad intentions, or maybe they're there in an official capacity or something. Or maybe they're just having a bad day or something, and didn't want to miss the speech, but was pissed off about I don't know, work, or maybe the dude's wife was nagging on him about something. I don't know, man. But I've definitely spotted quite a few people who just seem off. How often do you think you're monitored since becoming a YouTuber? I'm pretty sure that they put me under a bigger microscope because of that. I'm pretty sure they know exactly who I am and where I'm at. Like I love VPNs and all that stuff, but I got to be honest. If we have the technology to create these proxy networks, it would not at all surprise me if someone had the technology to peek past them. So, and if anybody would have that technology, it'd be Big Brother. I do always have a VPN active when I'm making a video, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know, um, VPNs won't keep 100%. They won't keep you 100% covered. They say they do, and I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that they don't. But just the skeptic in me kind of refuses to believe that just having a VPN active will 100% protect me from everything. Oh man. So let's see. What are some other conspiracy theories that you've got? Hotel California. I love that song. That was my jam in high school. Just that, just everything about it's pretty awesome. Flat Earth. Do you believe in a flat Earth, Mr. Mustafa? Listen, it's an honest question. I don't think I've ever actually met a flat earther. I mean, I see them all over the internet, but I don't think I've ever actually had a conversation with one. It makes sense that the Earth would be flat. So, honest question, man. Um, how do you explain? Like, where do you live? Do you live anywhere near an ocean? Um, the reason I ask is because I've lived in Hawaii. I live in California right now. I wasn't raised around an ocean, but I spent a lot of time around oceans. And if you look out on the beach, like on clear days, not like cloudy days or anything like that, but on clear days when you can see really really far, you can actually see the curve. You know, like it's very very faint, but it is there, man. So I just kind of want to know, like, for someone who truly believes in a flat Earth, like, how do you explain the curve that you can see on good clear days? Shadow governments, yes. Here's the thing about shadow government, like that whole theory. There really isn't any proof, man. Like none. A lot of these theories do have some proof, have something to them, you know, even if it's a little bit of a stretch, which is fine. I love the stretch. I haven't seen any like so-called proof that convinces me of shadow governments. Yet I absolutely believe in them. Like I completely 100% believe that there are shadow governments, within our own government, within many governments around the world. They used to be called puppet governments, and everyone knew that they were puppet governments. And then suddenly, puppet governments stopped being a thing. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. So it's not a curve. So what is it when you look out across the ocean? And believe me when I'm saying I'm not bagging on you. I'm not trying to like make you look like an idiot. I'm genuinely curious. Because that's the one thing. People like flat Earth, and I'm just like, well, yeah, but when I look out in the ocean, I see a curve. Like what? I don't understand how people could think it was flat. Um, if you see a boat disappear over the horizon, just get out your telescope and it comes back. Really? Hmm. Well, I can honestly say I've never thought to pull out a telescope and see if I can still see it. It's just something that I've noticed when looking out into the ocean. Because when I lived out in Hawaii, when I was having a really bad day, I would take my lunch out on the beach and I would just kind of stare at the waves. And for some reason, that's always kind of helped calm me down. So, does it ever disappear? Or can you always see it, no matter how far away it is? And if the Earth was flat, wouldn't there be an edge? I wonder what that would be like to sail a boat over the edge of the world, like into space. Would you fall? If the Earth was flat, then how does it hold all the water in instead of flowing off the edge? Maybe it's like a bowl. Depends on your scope distance. Telescope can only see so far. So if there's no edge, what's there then? Like what's on the border? That's a good point, John. And maybe they got turned around while they were sleeping or something. I don't know, man. Some mysteries may never be solved. An ice wall surrounds it. So that explains Antarctica and stuff, huh? Oh, we lost somebody. Okay, well that's an interesting theory of an ice wall, Antarctica ice wall. Hmm. Okay. So if there's an ice wall and there's global warming, like what would happen when the ice wall melts? Because if it's a flat, if the Earth is flat, right, guys? Gravity, like how does it work when you move past the Earth and into space? So would it just kind of flow outward forever? GPS would show they got turned around instead of plotting the course around the Earth. Global warming is not true. Well, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Um, I mean, technically, yes, global warming is true. Um, like, it's a you can verify it. It's a fact. The average global temperature is rising. Not by a whole lot. You're talking like fractions of a degree, but it is rising. But the idea that man is the cause of it, I don't know if I buy that because, the same science, not the exact same science, but throughout the history of the world, there have been cycles of very, very hot atmospheric conditions in the earth and very, very cold atmospheric, so it goes hot to cold, hot, cold. It's a natural thing. We're talking over millions of years. Gravity doesn't exist. Hmm. Why isn't my fat butt floating? If you fill up a balloon with air, it falls to the ground. Filled with helium, it rises. Well, again, science can teach us that helium is got less of a density than air molecules, just the atmospheric gases. So if you get enough of it, it'll rise. Well, no, it can't pick and choose, but gravity works on the density of the object, right? So the denser the object, the more gravitational forces will affect that object. So if you've got a small, I guess once you get to a certain point of density, it can have the opposite effect. I mean, clearly I'm not a scientist. I don't go work in a lab every day, but that's my understanding of it anyway. Science was actually my least favorite subject in school. The only one I really liked was chemistry, and only when you're talking about the explosive reactivity of certain elements, because I've also always been a bit of a pyro, and I love to blow shit up. Yeah, I was more of a math nerd, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know why I like math so much, but it just makes sense. Math is either it is or it isn't. Which I like. Yeah, probably. Um, when I happen to suffer from a pretty serious medical condition, it's called no acetitis. My back is just flat, and then there's a crack in it. A couple of guys from work were ribbing on me about that. They're like, "You really have like no ass at all." I'm like, "Why are you staring at my ass, bro?" But yeah, so okay, that's an interesting theory. I've always been very very curious. You know, because when we go up in spaceships, and obviously I'm not talking about like you and me. Um, yeah, my butt's probably not denser than air. It doesn't even exist. But when people go up in spaceships, know, they see the globe and stuff like that. Six 1 and 520 pounds. Jesus Christ, dude, you're huge. Huge. John says his butt ain't floating. Okay. Water can never bend. What about raindrops, bud? Spheres of water. Mr. Big Sexy. I can dig it, man. With the 3 X's. I dig it. It always finds a level surface. Huh. But I mean, raindrops, dude. Like they form spheres. Like, I'm sure that the molecules themselves aren't bending, but the shape and form of it does. Yeah. Also, false, man, because in the Disney movie, right, Pocahontas, right, that chick was talking about what's beyond the river bend, and it was like this big, huge feature song, right? So the river bends, and rivers are made of water, so therefore water bends. Boom, lawyered. I don't know if you guys can tell, but sometimes I like to make really, really stupid arguments. Say some stupid shit. No, we do have mayonnaise. Well, we talked about that on the phone. Yep, water does fall. You will see humps and frozen lakes. Well, sorry. I grew up in Michigan, and I've been ice fishing a few times. And I will say that ice did not feel even, 100% flat and level all the time. I mean, it's not science, but it didn't really feel quite flat and even. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. My wife should be home pretty soon with the groceries, so she's going to need some help carrying those in. And the kid's been asleep for long enough, so I'm going to go wake him up so he doesn't wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and think he's awake for the day. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Mustafa, thanks for your thoughts on the flat earth thing. It's very interesting. I've always wanted to like have a conversation with someone who believes this. You know, because I've always had questions like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So thank you very much for answering those questions for us. John, thanks for crypto ballers, bitch. Okay, bud. Yeah, so this was a fun time. We talked about a lot of different theories. I didn't know about the CEO thing, and I know he was saying that it's publicly traded. But I don't know if I would say that presidents are CEOs now because of that. But there is definitely some weird shit going on in the government. So thanks very much. Okay, sounds good, bud. Look forward to that, and we'll have some more chats. Let's see, next weekend. What is going on next weekend? What's the damn date? It's the 10th. As far as I know, now I'll have to check with the boss what the schedule is, but I think next weekend should be a Sunday stream. I think Sunday is going to be a good reliable day for that. So we'll plan on the next stream being on Sunday. So I hope to see you guys there. I'm not sure if we're going to do like another conspiracy stream or if there's going to be some crypto news. Can't see the future. Don't know what's in store this next week in the land of crypto. But stay tuned. And I'll see you guys around St. Patty's Day. Well, there is that. I really enjoy St. Patty's Day now that I don't have to wake up with a hangover anymore. But I get to make fun of all my friends who are being stupid. So that's fun. Now I'm that guy taking video evidence. So I can show them the next day, like, hey, do you remember doing this? Like, no, I would never fucking do that. Like, nah, this is you in a dress, dude. But, yeah, so stay tuned, guys. I'll catch you guys around. And have a great night.